Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we're off and running. I got into the room, praise God. I'm very thankful that everything worked out between the NoHo Hotel and getting over here this morning. Can't say I have any complaints at all. Was able to check in rather quickly. Got a room I've already had before. In fact, I think it was the same room I was sick in. the flu room, that's the room I have right now again. So this is the first time I've had the same room. And this is the first time I didn't get a new room in the entire 8 months I've been here. So I have no complaints at all. I was comfortable in that room, obviously, and able to settle in, get everything squared away quickly. So before noon, I'm already out the house again, headed to Hollywood, and just gonna see what the word is out there. Nothing really planned. Maybe try on the shoes that I want to try on. I don't know if it's responsible for me to buy them today. Don't think it is, because they didn't have that discount like last time. On the room here, it was $340 something instead of $270 something last time. I was able to purchase my shoes, so I had like an excess of cash, but they took that. So I was hoping they would still have that spring thing going on. That was going to really help my process, but that's just not happening. So I think I'll just try them on, or see if I can get go that route with that company that I said I don't want to do nothing with. Put down $50 today and then put $50 on it every 2 weeks or whatever it is. So we'll see if I actually go that route. I probably won't, to be honest with you, but we'll see. But yeah, man, just enjoying the fact that I'm back in to the NoHo, or rather the Studio Lodge. Last night in NoHo was pretty good. I slept pretty well, but it had a real insect issue in there that was not very fun to deal with. I had a different room. That was another thing. I had a new room at the NoHo Hotel. Usually they give me 102 or 103 every single time. This day they gave me 101, and what I've come to understand is 101 is the one with all the insect issues. So that was not too fun to deal with, but ultimately I didn't have any problems outside of that. So we wake up in good spirits and just keep on pushing forward in this process. Yeah, man, no complaints. Everything is all right. I hope everybody's having a good day. Obviously, you guys saw my video this morning. We pay our respects to Jerry West, great Laker, both on the basketball playing side of things and basketball operations side of things. And so that was kind of the tough news that we woke up to in our Laker community. So that's what it was. But you know, still paying attention to everything that's going on in Gaza. It's just sad how the same people who are hurting these people are now attempting to gaslight them by saying, here, we're going to send you $500 million of aid. And I'm sitting here like, but you just sent Israel $8-9 billion or more to bomb them. It's just the worst possible energy that you could send somebody. It'd be the same people that feed you, be the same ones trying to kill you. It just doesn't make any sense. And they don't put even a tenth of what they did in killing you as they put into helping you. It's just, it just speaks to the abusive behavior. It's classic abuser behavior. That's what America is abuser. That's what Israel is. They're abusers. And everybody who's a part of this with them, UK, Canada, all these countries that are taking part of this are psychologically screwing with these people. It's not just enough to try to wipe them off the map. They got to try to torture them and do all types of evil psychological damage with their behavior. And so, you know, I'm just looking forward to God getting back all of them. I've learned in these last 9 months in my situation, or 10 months, however long it's been that I've been in this situation, to not only trust in God, but to not play with him. And that he always gets back at me personally when I do what I shouldn't. Whether you believe in karma or not, it has definitely hit me enough times to be a believer. And so as I'm watching all of this unnecessary damage, I just noted that there's going to be a day on the calendar when we're going to look up and the tables are going to turn on all of those individuals. And while they think because they have control over a lot, and they don't see the presence of God around us, so that they can lie and treat people however they want to treat them. Eventually the tides are going to turn on that, and when it does, it's going to be a very, very long battle for people like that dealing with that type of karma. It's gonna last. And so that's what I know, man. I think that's why the Lord put me through what he put me through in this era of my life. And then for this to be taking place around the same time, at the same time, is it teaches me not to feel frustrated about God responding, because he's definitely going to. That's what I know. Maybe you haven't seen that take place as of yet, but he's been teaching me in so many different ways that he will respond. So we just being patient, you know. At the end of the day, I know that I'm using my voice for what I believe he would want me to do in regards to not allowing this to happen without being very vocal about it. And I think that, you know, in the presence of a lot of people not doing that, I'd like to think that I brought my way into some favor, if not into heaven, you know what I mean? And or at least away from some real tough pain that I think is coming to a lot of people because of what it is that's happening here. Whether they're complicit or not, it's going to be some casualties to the response, and that's unfortunate. But children lost their lives, innocent people lost their lives, people were treated however they were treated in the worst of ways. There's going to be a response to that. That's just how that goes. It's not just a bunch of us screaming free Palestine. It's going to be some people that are ready to do some damage because of what has happened there. So it's just something we got to be understanding of. When innocent people get hurt on this side of it, it's unfortunate, just like it's very unfortunate they're going through that right now as innocent people. That's the God's honest truth. But eventually, when nothing else works, people are going to start doing to others what was done to them. That's just how it works. And they start pleading for some type of mercy or some type of humanity, and there's none. Then they start losing theirs. That's how that usually goes. So I know that, and I just hope that everybody who's paying attention to this understands that, man. Some of us really don't deserve what's likely going to be coming at us, because we really were on the right side of this thing, but all they see is that American flag and that Israeli flag waving in circumstances that are causing great sufferings. You know, it was a situation where one guy was talking about how it was an American soldier that came in and did him dirty in regards to this genocide. Came in, shot his 12-year-old brother, and then was about to shoot him when I think it was somebody else who was in the house, let the soldier know that he was a child. And so they took him hostage and and one of the things that they did to him was they put a cigarette out on his shoulder. Not as an Israeli soldier, but one of our own American, good old homegrown American soldiers put a cigarette butt out on this child. Like, we need to understand that that's what's going on. It ain't just Israeli soldiers. And mind you, Israeli actually means from everywhere. It's what we've come to understand. These people aren't no more Jewish than I am. But they're not. They may have said, okay, we're going to be Jewish because that's what gives us all the perks. You know, we'll read the book, the Torah, we'll get indoctrinated, but they don't really believe in nothing. They believe in themselves, and they believe that this is a place that allows them to be themselves, which is evil as hell. In a lot of cases, quite literally. So that's what I've come to understand. They've hijacked the Jewish faith. These are people from everywhere, all over the damn place. Anybody just want to go to the Middle East, occupy somebody else's land, and watch people be tortured on their behalf, all you got to do is say, I'm Israeli. And suddenly you are indigenous to the land, which is a word that doesn't even mean what it used to mean anymore, apparently. Just like everything else they've hijacked. Anything that goes against them is anti-Semitic, as we know. How the hell did that work? Holding you accountable is anti-you? I guess so, if you're all supreme. It's an evil in this world that has been under our noses that we didn't know what it was, because they were doing a good job of not only hiding behind these people, this faith, but also making it so that it's forbidden that you hold them accountable or talk about them in any other light than saying, yeah, they control everything, but hush hush. Like, it's just ridiculous. Half of the people in this country, if not more, don't even really know what's going on in Israel. A lot of us, up until this began, thought Israel was the same Israel in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's the same. It's not the same to Israel. Just like these aren't the same Jews. And so it's just the wool is out from over our eyes. We see the truth, and now we're just raising our voice to spread awareness about what these people are doing and what it is they're really about, which is nothing good. To be completely honest with you, nothing good. And they have such backwards and warped moral compasses that they think it's not only necessary that they do this, but anybody on their side speaks against it, it hurts their feelings. There was a lady up on my screen yesterday that they had taken footage of who was screaming at real anti-Zionist Jewish people, saying that they are not Jewish because they're turning on their own people. And what they're essentially saying is, don't commit genocide in our name, don't kill people in our name. And the only thing she could come up with is, why are you turning against your own people? Like, if going along with my own people means destroying innocent people, there's something wrong with my people. If the only way for us to be on one another's side is to collectively gather around and agree that children need to be dying in our name, then I don't need to be a part of it. Straight up and down. I don't know what you have to do to make me think that inherently that's something that should be supported. You would have to have already gotten to me early in life, as I've mentioned once before. This stuff has to be indoctrinated in you as early in life, and you have to grow with this warped intentions, these warped agreements, and everybody around you have to be warped like you in order for that to even work. Because without that indoctrination, your humanity is going to tell you that that's not cool. You're going to look in the eyes of an innocent child and you're going to know that you shouldn't want anything bad to happen to them. You would need somebody to teach you to be that way in order for that to actually be something. And then a lot of people have been taught that way from birth, as we're learning. And because they put it in a book that's religious, suddenly it's like people think they should follow it. I think the presence of religion gives people excuses to not think for themselves in a lot of cases. That's not what God is actually about. He gave you the ability to function and reason for a reason. Not so that you can follow things that bankrupt every bit of sensibility and follow it because it's in a book. He didn't give you a brain that can function the way that it does for you to turn love into abuse of an entire people. Turn what is meant to celebrate yourselves into something that destroys others. You got to be sick in the head to naturally go along with that. And a lot of people who are. But those of us who weren't indoctrinated in that nonsense and who adapted to it later, it's exactly what they are. They're ill. They're homicidal. They're demonic in nature. And so as we continue to learn about Israel and learn about who's all there, that's exactly what we're finding. All the demented, brutal energies from all over the world have come to this one place to gather around and be horrible in the name of faith. That's really what it is. And as crazy as it sounds, that's exactly what it is. It's a sick death cult. And so, whether you call yourself a Zionist and are proud of that, or are coming to wake up to realize you shouldn't be, you should not be. It's time to undo that. If you're reading what they're reading and it's telling you to kill people, or that you're worth 1,000 times more than somebody else, You need to understand that that is something that's truly meant to deteriorate your reputation in the world and ultimately force you into being somebody who deserves the worst. That's really all that's for. It ain't for nothing else. God did not give you anything. He didn't give any of y'all anything as it pertains to it's your right to go take it from somebody else. That's a bankrupt mentality created by godless individuals who, quite frankly, didn't know how to represent themselves very well at all. So that's what needs to be said about all of the Zionists and any of the Zionist energy. You don't represent yourself in a way that makes you safe, that makes you sane, or that makes anybody look at you and say that that person is someone we should follow. Not at all. Only those who are bankrupt morally and who worship money. And if that's the case, they'll follow anybody who has it. Hence why they're following you. So that's pretty much all I want to say about the Zionists today. I don't particularly have a whole lot more than that. It's just every day I want to make sure that I'm on this camera using my voice to speak against what the occupied land and its inhabitants are really about. And those who support them coming from all over the world are really about. It's not anything positive. It ain't anything of God. No matter how much they try to speak these lies into existence, into being reality, they cannot manifest reality from within death. You can't manifest power from destruction. Not anything that can be kept anyway. And that's what they do. They're not really believers in God. They're people who like to manifest, speak it into existence, and therefore it is. That type of spiritual consciousness is really what they're actually about. They'll continue to tell everybody something is something until they believe it, regardless if it makes any sense or if it's destructive in nature or if it's, no matter what it is. That's how they operate. And then they go back and say it's God. If it were God, then you wouldn't be so backwards in your actions and in your activities toward others. There wouldn't be no confusion. There would be no struggle in regards to you receiving what it is that's been given to you. But that's logic for a decent mind, not a demonic one. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I hope that all the Zionists out there who are enjoying the world they're in understand that it's going to change around you. A lot of what you're in charge of, it's going to either be ripped from you or it's going to deteriorate because you have it. It's going to be one or the other, but eventually it's just a different world that you're going to be walking into. You should start seeing the beginning of that right now. So that's what I would say. I would suggest that those individuals start unlearning things that put them in a position to align with those who think it's fine to do math in that way. Because that is going to be the enemy of the world from here on out. That's pretty much it. My name is Bdf 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.